Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, this is Neptune. I adopted her on Sunday, and her birthday is listed as May 6th. She's about 4 months old. Um, she's wild. Okay. I had Minnow for 18 years. I did 5 months of hospice care with her, and she passed away in March. And I didn't really want another cat. I was happy with my two. I worried about them because, if something happened to one of them, because they're a bonded pair. But when I was on my birthday vacation, I saw a kitten post it, and something just drew me to her. She just looked, just something about her. And the more I saw videos of her and stuff, and I decided, I did some research. Like, I called my vets. I called, the low-cost spay and neuter program and all that. Like, I did research and budgeting and all that shit. And I decided to apply to a doctor, and she had a URI, so it was going to be a bit, 'cause she needed to get healthy. And they let me know. Well, she was in with another kitten, and they decided they were bonded and they had to go together. After, weeks of, like, everything was fine, like talking, confirming my interest, all that. So it didn't go through. But the thing is with it gave me kind of like, almost like baby fever, only for a kitten. I had, was like, I actually would be alright with another cat. Like, I should actually get another cat. But the problem is with Lydia is, she's not the most friendly cat with other cats. So a kitten was what I would need to get, because, it'd be easier to acclimatize to a kitten than a cat. So I looked for kittens. I wanted a gray kitten. I wanted a gray tabby kitten. Preferably vocal. Pretty much, that was basically my only, listing thing, except for I didn't want a polydactyl, because we've had them before, and they're, like, with Nick, I have to do a lot of nail care, because when he was a kitten, he was malnourished, and it's kind of affected how his nail growth is. His sheaths don't fall off. I was hoping she wouldn't go under there. Yeah. So I didn't want that. I didn't want a long-haired one, because we've had those before, and I really don't want... Like, I already have enough trouble keeping up with the shedding with these ones, because Nick's got really thick fur, even though it's not that long. So, and she's hunting right now. But yeah, she's really good on a leash. So yeah, it gave me kind of like baby fever for wanting a kitten. So I looked, and I was, spreading out, and I was getting really, like, there's not a lot of selection in my area, because I'm rural. Like, there's not that many rescues, and they either, wanted to adopt them as pairs, or they didn't like other cats, or they weren't what I was looking for. But in July, I've been checking the SPCA King's website, because there was a few cats I was hoping would get adopted. It wasn't that I was looking for one for me. It was that there was a few that had been there a while that I was really hoping would get adopted. So anyway, but if you don't view the website for a bit, it defaults to all instead of just Kings. And I seen these triplets in Yarmouth, Saturn, Jupiter, and Neptune. And they stuck with me. I showed them to people because they had ridiculously long tails. Like, they were more tail than body. And anyway, I always thought of them. But then August 26th, I seen, like, that week, saw that they had been moved. Saturn had gotten adopted then in Yarmouth, but Jupiter and Neptune had not been, so they sent them to King's SPCA, which has a higher turnover with kittens. And I saw them there, and I was like, there was another few that I wanted to see. Like there was Ham and Mrs. Smalls, and like, so we were going to go up anyway because we hadn't been up that way for a while. My mom likes going to see the cats. I try to take her to Johnny's, which is a restaurant, because she really likes their milkshakes up that way anyway. So we went, and I met Neptune and Jupiter, and Neptune, like, we just clicked. Like, it was just like, she sat right on my shoulder. She, you know, laid around my neck. She talked to me. She just really wanted me. And she used me to bounce off on the cage. And she kept talking to me even when I was trying to, you know, see the other cats. And she was like perfect for what I was looking for. Like, she was gray tabby. She was vocal. A little bit older than what I was looking for because I was really worried that Lydia would not accept an older cat. But yeah, so I had to think about it. I went to, you know, slept on it, and then the next day I was like, I really want this cat. But I only had enough saved for the local rescues because SPCA charges more because they cover, you know, the spay or neuter. And the problem was that when they were in the Yarmouth, they were listed as unknown gender. You don't need to go in yet. And she really wants to see Nick. Not going in yet. So yeah, they were listed as unknown gender, and when they got moved, Jupiter was listed as female, and Neptune was listed as male, and they were swapped, like, on their cages. Neptune had Jupiter's name stuck to the cage, and Jupiter had Neptune. And, you know, it was like, Neptune was listed as a boy, and Neptune was actually listed as her sister when they got swapped from the other place. So I called and tried to find out who was who and, you know, what was what. And I was told that Neptune was a boy. And I had to have a think because I wanted a girl. Every time I thought of what next cat I got, it was a little girl. I thought about, you know, getting, you know, like a sweater to match Lydia's because we go get Christmas pictures and stuff. I just was thinking of that, like, you know. So we got, I had to have a think, and I was like, yeah, okay. So I borrowed money to pay the difference from my mother because I only had the partial amount because I was planning on adopting from a closer rescue, and their fees are less, but they don't cover spay. Anyway, I got, so it was like, you know, get the kitten now and then pay for the spay later. But it was about the same price altogether. But, yeah, so since she's 4, she's got all her needles except for rabies. They don't do that till they're about 6 months here. And SPCA doesn't do that anyway. But she's got all her, Nick's 1 year now. I don't want to walk on that little girl. It's kind of weathered the rain and stuff we've got, and it's not that sturdy. It probably will need to be replaced another year. So I'm not walking on it. Because you can see where it's sunken in. I'm like, I really don't think that's going to support my weight good. Yeah, so I got, so we went up and I called and we got everything worked out on Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to go up first thing in the morning because they're open on Sundays. And it was a long weekend, so they weren't going to be open Mondays. So we went up and I checked her, and she was definitely a girl by her, you know, her bottom. And they scanned her, and it was definitely Neptune, even though she was listed as Jupiter on the cage. And then her medical records from the Yarmouth SPCA had that she was a girl, and that she was Neptune. And, so yeah, I adopted her. I feel bad that her sister hasn't been adopted because the other one was adopted. Saturn was months ago, like back when they were in Yarmouth. I haven't tied Nick yet. He just came out. He's a good boy. He's not going to take off. But yeah, this is a adult harness. I have a kitten harness from when Nick and Lydia were tiny, and I leash trained them. But Neptune is too long for it. Like, you can tell she's basically all length. Like, she's not, there's nothing to her but length. So yeah, I got, adopted her. I had her for not a week yet, Sunday. And it's just like, I just am so happy. Even though I hope that she gets along with Lydia better. Because Nick is all right with her. Like, Nick will talk to her. He doesn't want to be jumped on yet, but he was a main reason why I adopted another one, because he's been having a lot more energy and playful lately because he is on new medication. Like, he goes and gets an injection. It's called Silencia. It's for arthritis, pain and mobility issues, because he has defects in his hips and knees and spine. They don't know if it's because, you know, it was a birth defect or because he was so malnourished when he was little, and we did an x-ray, and the arthritis is starting to get really bad in him, even though, you know, for his age. So we've started him on Silencia, and he's got way too much energy. And Lydia's mostly a solo player anyway. Like, she'll play by herself mostly, and she's getting really annoyed at him, and he gets upset that she won't play, so he starts crying. And he's just like so pathetic, and that was another reason why I had talked to the vets and we had discussed getting another companion for him. So yeah, that's with Neptune. So Lydia is being really weird. She's being better than I thought she'd be. I was worried she'd be really aggressive because she's been aggressive to some cats in the past, and then other ones she doesn't care about. But she'll hiss at her if she sees her, and will growl if she gets near her. But she also is having like conflicting, like, you know, Sudiri things where she wants, and Nick has just escaped. So I'll have to catch him. We got the hay. He wants to go to the hay probably. But yeah, she's not bucking because the harness is on her. She's bucking because she sees a bug she's hunting. But yeah, that's a no-no. I don't want to go under the steps. But yeah, oh, he's coming to see her. Yeah, he's really interested in her. But yeah, Lydia does this thing where she really wants to see the baby. Like, she'll sit on the other side of the door where she's locked up, or on, like, if she's in Lydia's tied outside and Neptune's in the porch, like, can see her out through the door, and she'll talk to her, and she's like, she'll want to see her, like, she'll watch her, and then if she sees her, she'll hiss. So it's kind of like, but she's not being aggressive, so that was it's going better than I thought. It's only been a week. I ordered some calming collars for her to try, because, like, Lydia's pretty much, she's being very persistent about wanting to see the baby. Like, she's, happy, trying to reach under the door, rolling around on the other side of the door, talking to her, like, wanting to see her. And then it's like, a complete switch flip. So we're going to try the calming collar, but it's only been a week, I expected it would take a while with Lydia. It's going a lot better than I thought it would be. Nick, I figured it would be a lot faster because he loves other cats. Like, he gets really excited when he sees other cats, and he loves kittens. And he's being really bad right now. Yeah, I usually tie them, like, I don't let them loose, but he didn't want to come out, so I just left the door open, and now he's loose, so I'll have to go fetch him. But I'm glad he didn't go to the hay, because that fills me up way too much. So yeah, Neptune. We have a creature named Neptune. Now, so yeah, there's, I do have the GoFundMe for vet expenses. I also have a wish list I'll post in the description because I keep getting questions like one friend donated, asked me if he could donate, so I said like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I keep getting asked like if there's anything I need. There's not a lot I really need for her, because again, like I already bought, like I had stuff ahead when I was, because I've been planning to adopt. Yeah, you can't make that jump, Lydia, or Neptune, with the collar, with the lead and harness. I don't want to go under there because it's really hard to get under there and get them out, because I don't know how she's going to react. That's the thing. Like with Lydia, if you make noises, she'll run out. But I don't want to have to crawl under there, because that was what Minnow's thing would be. She'd go under there and wouldn't come out. So I'm just like holding her here. Nick's like, what the fuck is that? But yeah, Lydia's being Lydia. She's being a lot better than I thought she'd be. I can't get over that she has brown eyes. Like, I think that's really cool looking. I think she's part Torby, because she's very gray on top and her tail, but her head's brown, and underneath she has like this buff orangey color. So yeah, Neptune, I've adopted her, and that's the story about her. So yeah, like most of the things I need, I probably need more pee pads. She's very water, like, well, the name Neptune, you know, but she likes fucking in the water bowls and upsetting them. And I don't have that many pee pads because Nick has to use them for when he goes in the cage and stuff. And when we've gone on trips, I use them because, you know, like I don't want them to spill anything on the carpet where we stay. So yeah, she's just on. She's just wild. She's just got way too much energy, ready to go all the time. She's like, if it wasn't for Lydia's behavior, I would let her loose in the house now, instead of, you know, keeping them separated that much. But because of Lydia being unpredictable and not wanting to upset her in general, because, you know, I don't want her to think that this kitten's being forced on her, like I'm keeping them separated. But yeah, she's really cute. And I'm thinking of keeping the name Neptune. But I'm going to call the SPCA tomorrow again, the Yarmouth one where she came from, because King's didn't, you know, like they even had her mislabeled. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find out more information about the litter, like the planetary litter. And yeah, I got to take her on the 29th of September for her first appointment at my vet's. To get looked over and talk about rabies vaccines, you know, transfer her medical records that I got from King's. They got to send me her vaccine records again because they gave them to me that day. And I asked them to weigh her because I had to buy flea stuff for her when I bought for my other two, because Nicky had his bath. And it was time, you know, it was the flea time. And she hadn't been done since the end of July. Like she hadn't even been at that shelter, like the King's location, long enough to have her check up there. Like it was going to be this week, but I adopted her before that. She's mine. They told me if she does have like any problems in the next 2 weeks, I can take her up, and it won't cost me anything for their vet to look at her, but I want to get her in the system of Greenwood Animal Hospital. So yeah, they put aside the vaccine records, like it's in a little packet that goes in the folder while they wrote down her weight, and they forgot it to give it back to me. And I was in such, like, you know, I had so much other stuff to deal with, like her, you know, like her microchip information and all that other stuff, like the forms. Oh shit, she's gone up the tree. That's something I'll have to watch for. But yeah, so I got like all that. So yeah, Neptune. This is 20 minutes of me rambling about my new addition. Yeah. I like that she has mittens and socks like Nicholas. And she's got spots instead of stripes on her sides. And her legs are all striped. And I like how she's dark on top, but her bottom's like all creamy. Yeah, she's very playful. She's very vocal. She talks a lot. Yeah, she's very, I think she's perfect for what I was looking for and what I want it, like, 'cause she's just, you know, she's brave. She likes the leash and harness, so I'll be able to take her places. She doesn't mind the car. Yeah. This was 20 minutes of Neptune, who is ready to go. And this leash is way too short. I usually buy a 6-foot one, like a 6-foot dog one. But this is the one that came with the harness. So, until I have money to buy another one, this is what she has. Like, she's not running because she's on the harness. She's running because she's hunting.